well.
They would. And it's not any surprise that he's dipping into a market he knows with players that he knows. I mean, most managers, you do look at, there is, if you go back to any manager signings, there is relationships already, existing relationships there. Guys that they know what they're going to do, they know their strengths, they know their weaknesses, they know their character. What it does is it limits the margin for error, because when you're recruitment's the biggest part, and for a manager, you can lose your job on recruitment. You know, if you get it wrong in your signings, and there can be constant scrutiny of the players you've brought in that are not successful. So what you want to do is minimise that window, that margin for error. And what you do is, when you sign players, it's not about just abilities, it's about their characters. You know, it's about the person who's coming into your dressing room. If you know that guy's going to be a positive effect on people, he's going to come in, he's not coming in as one of these kind of bad eggs, and you can know that, you know exactly what you're bringing into your dressing room, then it takes away so much of the chat that needs to be had when surrounding recruitment at any level. Every manager's office over the last kind of couple of months has probably been talking about how can we strengthen, where do we need to strengthen, right? Okay, we need to find out what he's like, we need to find, well, when you're signing a player, you know it takes that out of the equation. So it's no surprise to see him dipping back into that, particularly after the Sesi Kyogo, because what it does is, as well, the fact that Kyogo's been successful, there'll not be many people who question it now. Whereas I don't think you go and get 3 and 4 players maybe for a team is maybe the answer, particularly bringing them over here, because everyone's different. They might not hit the ground running the way Kyogo is, but the fact that Kyogo's had the scintillating start that he's had, what it'll do is it'll make it far easier for Ange to go and bring in another 1 or 2 into Celtic with the success that Kyogo's had.
Is it going to be difficult to hold on to him, I wonder? Because, I mean, it's been spectacular, really, when you think about it. 16 goals. His strike rate's incredible, because he's actually missed quite a few games. He came back to score the 2 goals that won the League Cup for Celtic. He's picked up another injury since he played again, but sounds like it's not going to be too bad, and he'll be available come the middle of January. I mean, is he the sort of player who could do well in the English Premier League?
He's a player that'll do well anywhere he goes, because his enthusiasm, his work ethic, his energy. For a player that plays the way Celtic play, he's a constant threat to any backline. I mean, he's just always on the move. He's always threatening to go in behind, which it stretches the game for Celtic, which, when you've got players like McGregor's, Rogic's, David Turnbull's, who are playing in these wee pockets in behind midfield, by him constantly stretching the game, it just makes that gap a little bit bigger and harder for those players to defend. So, you know, I've watched him a lot, Kyogo, and he makes so many runs. I know it's still kind of cliche, you make 9 runs but you might not get it as a striker, but you might get the next one. Well, that's him, because he makes so many forward movements and doesn't get it. But it doesn't dishearten him. He comes back, he gets on side again, and he goes again, and he goes again. And what it does, it eventually might get one. You know, like the 2 goals in the cup final. Yeah. Threatens in behind. It's a hopeful ball. I mean, for Hibs, it was a terrible defending. You know, and they'll look back at that and they'll think, the 2 goals they lost, one they've just scored, and then they concede for a ball straight over the top, Kyogo goes through, and then a quick free kick when you switch off, when you know it's a feature of Celtic's game. And it's a feature of Celtic's game, not just because it's a hand on and play and get the ball moving again, because that's what they want. It's a threat because they've got Kyogo, who's making constant runs in behind and looking for it. And again, fair play, I think it was Rogic that played the pass, who's having a wonderful season, finds him, and the rest history. You know, he wins the cup for his team by making 2 runs forward. He's probably up there on his own against 3 or 4 defenders, but it led to 2 goals. So yeah, absolutely could go down to England and be a real success. Again, he'll be another one. I doubt it'll happen in January, but if he goes and gets where he's well on the way now to go and get 30 goals this season, as long as he stays fit, it might be one that teams might have a look at that and think, you know what, he's one that could do us a job.